I absolutely love covering the news for you guys every day, but I will say that one of the more difficult parts of this job is that every day I come across a news story that makes me lose the little bit of faith that I have left in humanity. And this is definitely one of those news stories. Now, when I was growing up, whenever I was riding somewhere with my mom to and from school, going to the mall, going to the grocery store, whenever we passed by a homeless person, my mom would always stop every single time and give them money or at least try to buy them something to eat. It never failed, every single time. And even though I was raised with those values, I can't say that I do the same, because times have changed so much over the years. You see, back in the day, there weren't as many homeless people. In fact, you kind of recognized and knew the homeless people in your town. You knew their backstories. They were legit homeless people. Fast forward to today, there's homeless, not really homeless, panhandlers on every single street corner. If I stopped and gave everyone $1, I wouldn't have enough money to pay my bills or survive, literally. So times have changed, and I just remember, riding around with my mom and her doing things for homeless people, and it's like in this day and age, I would like to do the same, but it's dangerous. You really can't. People are crazy these days. And like I said, half the people you see out here asking for money, they're not really homeless. They're panhandlers. They do this for a living. Instead of going to work, they stand on a corner with a sign, and then they get in their car and they drive home at the end of the day. Life is just wild these days. But it's like you want to be generous. You want to be kind-hearted. You want to help the less fortunate, but at the same time, in today's day and age, you got to be ultra aware. You got to be very cautious. You can't just stop your car for anyone. You can't just roll down your window for anyone. You damn sure can't just get out of your car for anyone, because you don't want to fall victim to one of the crazies that are roaming the streets these days. Like the man that we're about to talk about right now. A DoorDash driver from Fort Worth, Texas, that was out driving around making deliveries when what he thought was a homeless person knocked on his window, asking for just a few dollars to get some food. Now, this DoorDash driver, a DoorDash driver doesn't make much money. But out of the kindness of his heart, this complete stranger just knocked on his car window asking for a couple of dollars for food. He decides, you know what? I'm going to get out of the car. I'm going to go into this restaurant and I'm going to buy you a meal. Out of the kindness of his heart, he proceeds to open his car door to get out of the car when the man who knocked on his window just automatically, as soon as the car door opens, as soon as the man tries to get out of the car to go inside of the restaurant to buy this man some food, he repeatedly stabs him over and over again, steals his car, joyrides it, crashes it, and then joyrides it to a strip club. This all just went down in Fort Worth, Texas. We're about to watch the news clip right now, but before we do that, people often ask, how can they support the channel? The answer to that question is very simple. You can support the channel for totally free by liking the video and dropping a comment and joining the conversation in the comment section below. But if you want to take things one step further, you can always drop a super thanks or send a cash app. It's always greatly appreciated. But with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
A North Texas man says he thought he was going to die when he looked down to see his wounds after he'd been stabbed and carjacked. The attack happened in the parking lot of a Fort Worth restaurant over the weekend. The victim says he was actually trying to help the suspect out when that person attacked him. Fox 4's David Centendry spoke with the victim and joins us live. David.
Yeah, Steve, that 28-year-old victim says he was trying to buy food for that person who was asking him for money. But instead, that person reportedly turned on him with a knife and started swiping nearly a dozen times.
Clearly, he doesn't make the best decisions.
While waiting on a to-go order at Waffle House off West Rendon Crowley Road in South Fort Worth overnight Saturday, Jackson Oltmans says someone knocked on his car window asking for money.
And he told me he was just trying to get some food.
Oltmans decided to order the man food.
I opened my car, I was gonna go get him some food, and literally the second I opened my door to step out, he just starts stabbing me.
Fort Worth Police Department says Quindarius Cartwright is the man who cut Oltmans in the face and chest. Photos of the bloody gash are too graphic to broadcast.
Genuinely thought I was gonna die. It was so much blood. Walked in Waffle House, they were freaking out. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a traumatic thing for anyone to watch.
Video of Oltmans' recovery shows his swollen face and stitches.
Most of the stab wounds to the body weren't really too bad. It was just when he stabbed me in the face that was it was really bad.
On top of injuries, Cartwright reportedly stole Oltmans' car and joyroaded it to a strip club in North Fort Worth. Cartwright was arrested nearby.
He definitely hit something pretty good, and it's messed up the wheel.
Oltmans recently purchased his 2024 Toyota Camry. The 28-year-old works several jobs, including DoorDash, a job he was doing the night he was stabbed by someone he was trying to help.
I can't tell you how many times I've been asked for money or whatever by homeless people or just, people out in the streets. And, typically good nature is just to want to do a good deed for them. But I mean, I learned that night, man, you got to be very careful about, who you're willing to help out, because sometimes they will take advantage of that good nature.
Cartwright is charged with aggravated robbery. Bond is set at $150,000, being held over at the Tarrant County Jail.
Can you imagine that? Do you understand why I said this video, this news story has made me lose a little bit of faith in humanity? The little bit of faith that I had left? Imagine you're getting out of your car, out of the kindness of your heart, to buy a complete stranger some food because they said they were hungry. You don't even make much money. Whatever food you're buying for a stranger is food out of your mouth, right? And then you get stabbed in the face while trying to do a kind act for a stranger. You get stabbed in the face and then your car gets stolen and they joyride it to a strip club. This is why we are witnessing the decay of society, because the best our society has to offer, the best people our society has to offer, are the ones falling victim the most. You see, I wish I could say that I'm just as good of a person as this man was, but I can't. Because I'm not going to get out of my car to go buy anyone a meal in the year 2025, because I'm fully aware of the crazy stuff that is constantly happening around me. And I hate to say that, I wish I could be that person, but now we see why, so many people can't be that person anymore. It's almost like society and the decay of society is forcing even good people to not do kind acts. Because when you do a kind act, this man didn't want any recognition. He's not filming a TikTok video, hey, look at me helping the homeless. No, he was just doing a kind act out of the kindness of his heart. And this is how society repaid him. With a blade in his face and his car getting stolen and taken to a strip club by someone who didn't care at all, had no conscience, not a care in the world. I mean, even if you're a downright dirty, scummy, evil, freaking criminal like this man is, seeing that, oh man, this guy is going to try to go buy me some food. You don't have a conscience at all. Like, man, this guy's literally trying to go do something good for me. Maybe I shouldn't do something bad. Yeah, I was planning on doing something bad here. Maybe I was planning on robbing him, but man, this guy literally out of the kindness of his heart is going to buy me some food. Maybe I shouldn't rob him. Or at the very least, maybe I should just take the car and not stab him in the face. But no. Balls to the wall, insane. No F's given. Screw you and the kindness that you showed me. Screw the meal that you were about to buy me. I don't care about your life. I'm going to try to kill you. Then I'm going to take your car to go to the strip club to see some booties bounce. It's so sad. It's so sad. And of course, this happens right around the time that we have a 17-year-old kid in Texas who was stabbed by another 17-year-old kid over a seating arrangement. So many senseless deaths, so many senseless murders. It's really freaking sad. But I've talked about the dangers of like Uber Eats and DoorDash and these other food delivery services in the past. I've made several videos about it. You know, basically talking about how society these days, we basically allow complete unvetted strangers to not only handle and deliver our food, but we let them know where we live. And often people like deliver food, like they'll order Uber Eats for their kids when their kids are home alone and stuff like that. And over recent years, there's been a rise of like food delivery killers and food delivery robbers and stalkers and all types of stuff. We've talked about it on this channel about a half a dozen times, but I never talked about it from the opposite angle. Because just like when you order Uber Eats or DoorDash, you're allowing a complete stranger to come to your house and deliver food. You know, on the other hand, these delivery drivers are delivering food to complete strangers as well. And often they're delivering food in bad neighborhoods and they get themselves caught up in all types of situations. That's not something that people touch on enough. I don't think people touch it. I don't see many conversations about how dangerous it is in some places to be a Uber driver or, like I said, an Uber Eats or DoorDash. Sometimes you get sent to like really bad neighborhoods. You get sent to really, really, let's just say, sticky situations. You get caught up in some crap delivering food and delivering stuff to these people's homes. I mean, there's a lot of stories about, you know, food delivery drivers getting killed and getting robbed and stuff too. So, you know, there's dangers on both sides there. So I just wanted to acknowledge that since this is a story involving DoorDash. But yeah, all around, you know, this is just, it's one of those stories that, I mean, the crime in itself is bad enough. We hear about carjackings and unfortunately, we hear about stabbings and stuff every day, but just knowing that this happened to a good person that was trying to do a kind act for someone else, I hope that this doesn't ruin his spirit. You know, I hope that he, I don't know, I hope that this doesn't blemish his view on the world. Because when something like this happens to you, I think it can change the way you view the world. And I think that the way this man viewed the world, you know, as someone who was willing to spend his last dollar on buying a stranger some food, I don't know his other beliefs, but I think that's a good way to view the world. You know what I mean? I think that shows, that act alone shows that he was a good person. And I hope that he doesn't allow this horrible situation that happened to him. By the way, it's way worse than what they showed on the news. I can't even show here on YouTube how bad it was. But I'm hoping that he still has a positive outlook on life. Let's just say that. But for now, you guys let me know what you think of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.